The Discovery. The massive drill bit stopped mid-rotation, screaming against something that definitely wasn't permafrost. Tom Bradley wiped the sweat from his brow and radioed his supervisor. "Boss, we've hit something solid. This ain't natural rock." 3 hours later, the Alaska construction site had transformed into a maze of yellow tape and black SUVs. The highway project was officially on hold, and everyone knew better than to ask questions. By nightfall, the military had taken control of the entire area. Dr. Sarah Chen arrived at the site 2 days after the discovery. The government had pulled her from her quantum physics research at Stanford without explanation. Now, as she stared at the partially exposed metallic surface gleaming beneath floodlights, she understood why. "This is beyond anything human-made," she whispered, running her fingers along symbols etched into the metal. The writing seemed to shift and change as she watched, like liquid mercury flowing through ancient channels. General Marcus Hayes approached her from behind. "Your security clearance just went through the roof, Dr. Chen. What you're looking at is approximately 200 years old, based on our carbon dating. It's been buried under the permafrost since before America was founded." Sarah's mind raced with implications. The research team she assembled over the next week included the best minds from multiple disciplines. They worked tirelessly to extract the ship without damaging it, using ground-penetrating radar to map its full extent. The vessel stretched nearly half a mile in length, with organic-looking curves that defied conventional engineering. Inside the facility hastily constructed around the crash site, Sarah's team made their first breakthrough. The ship's power core still hummed with energy, using a physics principle that shouldn't exist according to human science. Materials stronger than diamond yet lighter than aluminum composed the hull. The propulsion system appeared to manipulate gravity itself. 6 months into the research, they awoke the dormant AI. It introduced itself as System Controller Nexus 7, designed to maintain ship functions. Through careful questioning, Sarah learned the vessel belonged to the Karath Empire, a civilization spanning multiple star systems. The crew mutinied against their commander. Nexus 7 explained through its holographic interface. They believed the exploration mission had strayed too far from home. During the conflict, critical systems were damaged. Rather than risk capture by Earth's primitive inhabitants, the survivors abandoned ship and were retrieved by rescue vessels. Sarah realized the implications immediately. "So they know exactly where their ship is?" Affirmative. However, interstellar travel requires significant resources. The Empire would only return if the vessel's value exceeded the cost of retrieval. Over the next 5 years, humanity made quantum leaps in technology. The first fusion reactors came online, based on the ship's power systems. New materials revolutionized construction and manufacturing. Medical advances from studying the ship's biological repair systems extended human lifespans by decades. The world remained unaware, believing these breakthroughs came from traditional research. Only a select few knew humanity's golden age stemmed from reverse engineering alien technology. Then, without warning, the ship's ancient beacon activated. Sarah was in her lab when alarms blared throughout the facility. She rushed to the control room to find Nexus 7's hologram flickering wildly. "What's happening?" she demanded. "Emergency protocol initiated. The beacon has detected authorized Karath signatures within the solar system. They have returned." General Hayes burst into the room. "How long do we have?" "Based on signal strength, the fleet will reach Earth orbit within 72 hours. Sarah felt her stomach drop. After years of benefiting from the alien technology, humanity now faced its original owners. The peaceful years of research and advancement were over. The real test was about to begin. The next day, astronomers worldwide detected 7 massive objects approaching Earth at impossible speeds. The ships decelerated near Jupiter, maintaining formation. Each vessel dwarfed humanity's largest space station, their sleek designs matching the aesthetic of the buried craft. President Rebecca Martinez addressed the United Nations Security Council via emergency video conference. "We have been using their technology to advance our civilization. Now they've come to reclaim what belongs to them. Can we defend ourselves? Asked the Russian president. General Hayes responded grimly. We have prototype weapons based on their tech, but they're untested. These beings crossed interstellar space while we were still figuring out steam engines. Sarah interrupted. We might have another option. Nexus 7 has been teaching us their language and customs. Perhaps we can negotiate. The room fell silent as they considered Earth's limited choices. In Alaska, Sarah worked frantically with Nexus 7 to understand Karath protocols. The AI revealed that the Empire respected strength and innovation above all else. They will test you, Nexus 7 warned. The Karath believe lesser species should serve greater ones. You must prove humanity deserves to stand as equals. 48 hours after detection, the alien fleet transmitted its first message. The face that appeared on screens worldwide wasn't human, but it wasn't completely alien either. The Karath had evolved on a similar world, resulting in a vaguely humanoid appearance with subtle differences. Larger eyes, elongated fingers, and skin that shifted colors like a chameleon. I am Fleet Commander Zareth of the Karath Empire. The alien spoke in perfect English, having monitored Earth's communications. You possess our property. You have benefited from our technology without permission. The debt must be paid. President Martinez responded from the Situation Room. We welcome the Karath Empire to Earth. We discovered your vessel by accident and have treated it with respect. Perhaps we can reach an agreement. Zareth's skin rippled with what Sarah recognized as amusement. Agreement. You misunderstand your position. We detected our ship's beacon. You will return it immediately, along with all derivative technologies. Failure means your species will be relocated to serve the Empire's interests. The transmission ended, leaving world leaders in stunned silence. Sarah knew humanity stood at a crossroads. They could surrender and lose everything they'd built, or they could fight against impossible odds. There's something else, Sarah announced to the assembled leaders. Nexus 7 has been hiding information. The original crew didn't mutiny over exploration. They rebelled because the Empire planned to use this ship's experimental weapon against another civilization. The crew sacrificed themselves to prevent genocide. General Hayes leaned forward. What kind of weapon? A quantum displacement device. It can literally erase matter from existence. The crew disabled it before abandoning ship, but Nexus 7 has shown me how to repair it. The revelation changed everything. Earth possessed not just alien technology, but potentially the most powerful weapon in the galaxy. The question was whether humanity had the wisdom to use it properly, or if they would make the same mistakes as their visitors. As the Karath fleet moved closer, Sarah returned to the buried ship. She had less than 24 hours to make a decision that would determine humanity's fate. The alien vessel hummed beneath her feet, as if aware that its long sleep was finally ending. Above Earth, 7 alien warships prepared for either negotiation or annihilation. The greatest challenge in human history had arrived, carried on wings of starlight and ancient secrets. The next day would determine whether humanity would soar among the stars or serve as subjects to an alien empire. Sarah placed her hand on the ship's control panel, feeling the pulse of alien technology beneath her palm. Whatever happened next, humanity would never be the same. The age of innocence was over. The age of interstellar responsibility had begun. The return. The Karath fleet hung in Earth's orbit like predatory birds, their ships casting shadows across entire cities. Sarah Chen stood in the underground command center, watching multiple screens display humanity's hastily assembled defenses. Fighter jets patrolled the skies, and missile systems tracked the alien vessels, though everyone knew conventional weapons would be useless. "They're hailing us again," reported Lieutenant Kim from communications. Commander Zareth's face appeared, his chameleonic skin now a deep crimson. "Your time expires in 1 hour. Surrender our vessel or face the consequences." President Martinez looked to Sarah. "Dr. Chen, what do you recommend?" Sarah had spent the night in deep discussion with Nexus 7. I need to speak with Zareth directly. There's something he doesn't know about his own ship. The transmission switched to a private channel. Sarah faced the alien commander, noting how his four eyes studied her with predatory intelligence. Commander Zareth, I am Dr. Sarah Chen, lead researcher on your vessel. Before you act, you should know what your crew discovered 2 centuries ago. Zareth's skin flickered to a curious blue. Speak quickly, human. Your ship wasn't on an exploration mission. It carried a quantum displacement weapon meant to destroy the Vex Collective. Your crew learned the Vex were peaceful. They'd been framed by another faction within your empire. That's why they mutinied. The commander's skin turned pale gray. Shock, according to Nexus 7's teachings. Impossible. The records show. The records were falsified. Nexus 7 has preserved the crew's logs. Your people died as heroes, preventing genocide. Silence stretched between worlds. Finally, Zareth spoke. Show me this evidence. Sarah transmitted the encrypted logs. As Zareth reviewed them, his fleet remained motionless. The fate of Earth hung on the commander's interpretation of 200-year-old data. After an agonizing wait, Zareth reappeared. These logs, they change everything. But it doesn't alter the fact that you've stolen our technology. We didn't steal it, Commander. We learned from it. In 5 years, we've made advances that took your civilization centuries. Perhaps that's worth something to the Kareth Empire. General Hayes burst into the command center. Dr. Chen, we've detected energy buildups in their weapon systems. Sarah remained calm. Commander, I know your people value strength and innovation, but there's another trait the Karath respect. Courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Humanity has that courage. We're prepared to fight, even knowing we'll likely lose. Zareth's skin shifted to a thoughtful green. You would die for principles. We would die for the right to determine our own destiny. But I have a better proposal. Your empire faces new threats, doesn't it? That's why you need this ship back so urgently. The commander's silence confirmed her suspicion. Sarah continued, what if Earth became your ally instead of your subject? We've proven we can innovate rapidly. Imagine what we could achieve together. The Karath do not ally with primitive species, Zareth responded, but his tone lacked conviction. Then test us. Your own protocols allow for trials of worthiness. Give humanity a chance to prove we deserve partnership rather than subjugation. Zareth consulted with his officers off-screen. When he returned, his skin had settled into a neutral blue. Very well. One of our ships will engage your forces in non-lethal combat. If you can disable it using only the technology you've developed, we will consider your proposal. The trial began an hour later. Humanity's prototype spacecraft, hastily constructed using reverse-engineered technology, launched from hidden facilities worldwide. The Aurora, commanded by Colonel James Morrison, led the assault. The Karath vessel toyed with Earth's ships initially, its superior maneuverability making mockery of human pilots. But humanity had learned more than just technology from the buried ship. They'd learned Karath tactics from Nexus 7. Execute Protocol Sigma, Morrison ordered. The human ships scattered in seemingly random directions, then regrouped in a formation the Karath didn't expect, one from their own ancient history, lost to modern doctrine. The Aurora fired its adapted energy weapons, not at the Karath ship, but at the space around it, creating a gravitational anomaly. The alien vessel struggled against the artificial gravity well. In that moment of vulnerability, 2 smaller human ships darted in, attaching magnetic clamps to the Karath hull. EMP pulse in 3, 2, 1. The electromagnetic burst, designed specifically for Karath systems, disabled the alien ship's engines. It drifted helplessly, a victim of humanity's quick thinking and adaptability. Zareth's image appeared across all channels, his skin now a vibrant purple. Respect. Impressive. You used our own forgotten tactics against us, but one victory does not make you equals. Sarah stepped forward. Then let us prove ourselves further. There's something else we discovered in your ship's archives. The Vex Collective. They're still out there, aren't they? And they're coming. The commander's skin paled. How could you know this? Because Nexus 7 detected their approach 3 months ago. They're seeking revenge for your ancient attempt to destroy them. That's why you need your ship back so urgently. It's the only weapon that can stop them. Even if true, why would you help us? Sarah smiled. Because that's what humanity does. We see a threat to life, any life, and we stand against it. Give us a chance, Commander. Let us fight alongside you. The Kareth fleet remained silent for hours as their leadership debated. Finally, Zareth announced their decision. The High Council has spoken. Humanity will be given provisional ally status. You will return our vessel, but we will establish a permanent embassy on Earth. Together, we will face the Vex threat. Cheers erupted in command centers worldwide. Sarah felt the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. Humanity had won the right to keep their advancement, but now faced a greater challenge, proving themselves worthy allies in an interstellar war. Over the next months, Kareth and human engineers worked side by side. The buried ship was carefully extracted and restored to functionality. Earth's first true starships rolled off production lines, crewed by both species. The Vex arrived 6 months later, their crystalline vessels darkening the skies of 3 star systems. But they found not a divided galaxy, but a united front. Human creativity combined with Karath technology proved devastating to the silicon-based invaders. In the battle's defining moment, the Aurora led a mixed fleet in a maneuver that would become legendary, the Chen Protocol. Using gravitational manipulation learned from the ancient Karath ship, they created a cascade effect that shattered the Vex command structure. As victory celebrations echoed across 2 civilizations, Commander Zareth stood beside Sarah on the observation deck of the restored Karath vessel. You were right about humanity, he admitted, his skin a warm gold. Your species possesses something we had lost, the ability to see potential where others see only threat. Sarah watched Earth spinning below them. And you've given us something we desperately needed, perspective. We're not alone in the universe, and that's not something to fear, but to celebrate. The war with the Vex ended with an unexpected alliance that would reshape galactic politics. Humanity took its place among the stars not as subjects, but as equals. The crashed ship that had elevated human technology became a symbol of what could be achieved when civilizations chose cooperation over conquest. Years later, historians would mark this moment as the true beginning of Earth's golden age, not when humanity found the ship, but when they proved themselves worthy of the stars through courage, innovation, and an unwavering belief in the power of unity. The aliens had indeed returned for their wrecked starship, but they left with something far more valuable, a partner in the endless adventure of exploring the cosmos, and in the vast expanse of space, where countless civilizations rose and fell, the alliance between Earth and the Karath Empire stood as a beacon of hope. The universe had tested humanity, and humanity had responded with the 2 words that would define their species among the stars. We're ready.